We're back with more What's Up Doc. Thus far, for Season 3, we have given focus to lifestyle diseases and non-communicable diseases. Your physical well-being is extremely important, but we cannot underscore the importance of mental health. Our bodies and minds are not separate. So it is not surprising that mental ill health can affect your body. In extreme cases, an individual's mental health condition negatively affects others, especially households, in a physical way. For example, did you know that between 2020 and 2022, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service recorded 4,857 reports of domestic violence? To dissect and analyze such issues, my guest today is Dr. Varma Diyal Singh.
Today's Vitaminette features thiamine, or vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 is a water-soluble vitamin that plays a vital role in the growth and function of various cells. Thiamine is found naturally in meats, fish, and whole grains. It is also found in baby formulas, fortified breakfast cereals, pork, beans, lentils, green peas, breads, noodles, rice, and sunflower seeds. And that was today's Vitaminette.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers?
Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best.
I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in-depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WASN,
the content capital.
Domestic violence or domestic abuse or intimate partner violence has been defined as a pattern of behavior in any relationship which allows one person to exercise control and power over an intimate partner. Now, the abuse can take the form of physical, verbal, sexual, economic, and psychological acts or threats that enables or allows for influence over the other person, the victim. And anyone can be a victim of domestic abuse. Anyone of any age, race, creed, socioeconomic background, financial status, even sexual orientation, as well as gender. Both male and females can be a victim of domestic violence. Domestic violence is a very silent disease that has scourged this nation, and it has remained silent because of the fear and the shame that comes with it. Welcome, Dr. Dayal Singh.
Thank you for having me. It's
Thank
an
you.
important topic, and I'm glad we are here to discuss it this afternoon.
Yes, so let's get straight to it. How prevalent, and I know it's very difficult for you to actually pinpoint figures, but how prevalent you would say is domestic violence in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, we have global figures, and even in Trinidad and Tobago, it is estimated that 1 in 3 women in their lifetime will be abused, and 1 in 7 males.
1 in 3,
Yeah,
that is
yes.
significant.
Significant, yeah.
All right, and that's underreported.
Yes, definitely.
A lot
so.
of cases go unreported and silent.
Silent. It's really, you know, what is behind the closed doors in the bedrooms. Persons outside wouldn't want to know. It's an embarrassing thing. So sometimes the females may hide it from their relatives. They hide it from doctors. So sometimes they come to a doctor with a black eye, and the excuse is we hit a cupboard, we fell down the stairs. And this was one of our difficulties as practitioners, how we could track these women.
Yeah.
You know, so if we could get a woman coming in casualty and say, hey, you're coming in too often, something is happening, and we could try to red flag. But, you know, those ladies are smart.
Explain that.
Yeah.
Because, all right, so a lot of people out there who have not experienced it themselves, or who haven't known anybody who would have experienced it, can't get to grips with why a woman or a man would remain in a relationship that is harmful, abusive to them, or even potentially might be dangerous for their children. Why would somebody remain and stay? And these are people who might be well educated, might be professionals.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, they think this has always frustrated physicians and police officers, because sometimes we have gotten a report, the police have it, they want to carry it to court, and oftentimes we found that the partners will go back together. The woman will leave the court matters, don't want to continue it and go back. And we realize some women, they cannot help themselves, that it's a psychological chain that binds them to their mate. So people will say, okay, so it's like the Stockholm Syndrome. In the Stockholm Syndrome, if one remembers, it was a situation where some persons held some individuals as hostages. And after, when it went to court, none of these individuals were willing to go to court to give evidence against the criminals. It's a sort of a bond that they got with them. You see,
trauma bond.
A strong bond, yeah. It's a bond that you have life and death. You know, my life is in your hands, and you allow me to live, and because of that, I am not going after you. So it's a sort of Stockholm sort of effect that we see here.
Is it that the victim empathizes with the perpetrator?
This is another reason also. You see, the empathy is something else, but the Stockholm sort of bond is something that occurs because you feel that you're indebted to your life because of this person. That person could end it.
So gratitude?
Gratitude, it could be.
My.
Then there's what you call the traumatic bonding theory. Now, the traumatic bonding theory is you have developed a bond with this individual. And the bond is such that you may have grown up in a home where you see your mom and dad having domestic violence. And you will actually equate getting beaten as love. So licks is equated with love. So if you're in a relationship, you expect it. And if you don't get it, so that sort of trauma bonding also, you know, that sort of occurs. Then there's so that theory, we have explained it by there's an intergenerational cycle of domestic violence.
Of course.
So it's certain families will have that. And if you could break that, then we may be able to rescue some individuals, you know, prevent them. So for instance, if there's a female who is in a home seeing domestic violence, she may now get accustomed and think it's part of love, it's part of the norm.
So, all right, let's just say a girl grows up in a violent home. She sees that's her norm.
Yes.
But intellectually, she knows that that's not what she wants. But she still goes out there and somehow attracts somebody like her dad.
Yes.
as a psychiatrist, explain that for me.
Well, there's always the fact that some females look at somebody, at their mates, as a father individual.
So they actually seek out somebody who might be just like their dad, even though they don't want it intellectually, they know that's not what they want?
And not only that, to them, that is part of the norm. If you don't get a lick so, you don't get shouted at, it means, it is not normal because you grew up in that environment. So to them, that is normal. And then there's the psychological entrapment theory where a woman has invested so much into the relationship.
With
Facebook,
kids.
marriage, kids, whatnot. And because of all of these things, she now feels that she cannot come out of that. Now, the problem we have is we may see a female being isolated, a female being in that situation where we know she has, the mate has control on her, and we cannot reach her. So some family members may come and say, my sister doesn't speak to us anymore. My sister has cut off all the
How do they gain control over their victim? What is that? How does that control power dynamic work?
Well, the thing is that when we look at the abusers, and there was a general figure that 10% of men may be abusers. When we look at the abusers, we found that some of them, it's like a scripted behavior. So they will now see this girl, go after her, and you shower this girl with love. You shower her with attention. And you just bombard her. So it's
love bombing.
Yeah. So when she gets that, and remember, we are individuals, we want love. So suddenly you're getting all that attention, you're getting all that love, all that notes, all that flowers. You suddenly, that guy is in your life. So with the romance. And then suddenly you find that every time you have, he now tries to interject his presence. So therefore he will call you, he will turn up at work, he will now, so your space would not be there again. That space will be a space with him. And after a while, very soon you will think that you know this guy so well. Because it's everything he's telling you, personal things, you're telling him personal things. And it's that what we call a whirlwind sort of romance is where we try to warn girls, do not get into that, don't get into any serious relationships with any man within that a period more than 6 months. Get to know him, get to know his past. Because you see, these individuals, once they try to control you, once they want to fill your space, you find that suddenly now you will have no friends, no family, you'll be isolated.
He's filling the void.
The void. And not only that, sometimes when you go out to eat, he will choose the restaurant, he will choose what to eat, he will tell you shouldn't eat this thing because it's not healthy for you. So you're now giving in to him, and then your mind adapts. So when he starts to control you further, you may just give in to it. And there is something we call the cycle of violence. And what is cycle of violence is really a guy beats you, he explodes. He has that explosive tendency. He hits you, he beats you. And after this, he comes back now and pleads with you and said, listen, love, no other woman will be able to rescue me. You are the only one who will be able to help me. I will die without you. I'll kill myself without you. I'm really speaking, nobody will understand me. Please come back with me. So that period when he starts to beg, then he starts to shower her with attention, gifts. He may give her, it's called the honeymoon phase. So it comes from the explosive violence phase.
And that's very confusing for the victim.
For the victim. But you see, remember, we are beings who want to help individuals. So if the female thinks, listen, if he doesn't have me, he will go and drink. He will spin off of control. So she feels now she is, for her, she wants to help that individual.
This is what I was wondering. Is it that there are certain people, I would say empathic sort of personality, who want to please, want to give, want to save people, want to help people.
Yes.
Those are the ones who tend to fall victims to these charismatic individuals.
Yes. Because and you see again with the theory that I mentioned before, if you invest in a relationship, you bought a house together, you have plans, but it's harder to move out, you see. So when he comes now, you still have a hope that he will change. But then the cycle goes now from the explosive to the honeymoon phase, and it comes back up a building up phase, back to it again. And once you see that occurring, we warn women, we try to show them, this cycle was identified in, I think, is Duluth years ago. We try to show them and try to educate them that this cycle, it will reoccur again, and you better get out. It doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes these girls, I say it's a psychological sort of entrapment or psychological change, and they go back.
They feel like they can change.
They feel change. And you see, the difficulty we have is, if you see an individual being isolated, sometimes their relatives now try to reach out for help to say, how could we get her? She's brainwashed. It's like a cult, comes and takes your daughter. Suddenly she doesn't want to see you, she doesn't want to go, her religion, everything she just doesn't want again. She's just totally with this guy. He controls her finances, he controls her life, he controls her way of thinking, tries to think.
All right, let's say my sister, I suspect she's in an abusive relationship. What are the signs that I need to look out for, early signs, that she's in a relationship like that?
Okay, the first sign is if the individual tries to put her against the relatives. So, or tries to isolate her. Tries to isolate her from work, things she used to like before. If she likes to go to the gym, suddenly she's not going to the gym again.
Right.
If she likes to go to family functions, she always makes some sort of excuse. That is him trying to isolate her. And sometimes...
And is it that she also turns against her own family and her own friends?
Well, part of the process where he tries to brainwash her, or tries the scripted behavior, is when he tries to tell her it's both of us against the world. And sometimes she may open up. You see, sometimes they call them late in the night, you're sleepy, you tell them your secrets, little family squabbles that happen. I had a patient who had some confusion with her sister. She told the guy, and the guy in a family garden exploded everything, and so obviously the sister will get angry with her.
Right.
So he would use things against you, and he will tell you secrets, but he wants you to expose your secrets to use it against you.
Let's just say my daughter, she's 17, and she's now starting to date. I want to give her advice, because she's going to go to university just now, and she will be meeting people.
Yeah.
What are the early signs for her to look out, the red flags that this guy is not the one, and run to the hills fast?
Well, you look at the personality of the individual. You look to see when he goes to a restaurant, how does he treat the waitress? Does he demean them? Does he say they're stupid, they're not nice? So how he speaks of other persons, this is it. How he portrays himself as always being a victim, that probably his family against him, his past girlfriend treated him badly. So he has that sad story for you. So he tells you that. Then again, if he now wants to control you, so therefore he wants now to prevent you from doing things you like, he's trying to bring you in that level of isolation, those are warning signals.
Red flags,
yeah,
red flags.
Yeah.
And she should stop that relationship.
Well, you see, love is something that once your heart gets all that attention, it's difficult. It's difficult.
How can she safely get out of it if she's in it already?
What we need is the intervention of the family members, really, to try and talk sense into her, to tell her that, listen, this person is not good. If he's pushing you, if he's using alcohol too. You see, there are certain signs in these individuals that we as therapists try to look as danger sign. There's something called a danger risk assessment.
Okay.
But we more use it to identify those individuals who would go on to kill their mates. You remember female homicides, right? They are really a strong indicator of a female who's dying is really a past intimate partner. I think 42% of females who are killed is really somebody they knew,
right.
a partner, ex, a present thing. So we now would see people coming into us with having domestic abuse. And we try to identify these males. So there's the danger is one. If that person uses alcohol and drugs, if that person has forced sex, and if that person is also has a history of breaches with the law, violence. Yes. If that person strangles, so strangulation, if you are fighting with somebody and you try to strangle them, the minute, even though nothing happened, the minute we see that making moves to strangle somebody, this is a red flag for us to say that is a relationship where this man could be a potential killer. And then you look at the factors of the past criminal behavior. and also the possession of a weapon. Now, in the United States, you may have guns, but here you could pick up a cutlass, you could do anything. So this risk assessment was developed by a nurse called Campbell in Johns Hopkins University, and it is used by police services worldwide now, that if you have somebody, and psychologists too, if you have someone coming in and you can get these danger signs, that individual, you don't want that individual near that person. Now, those are the individuals where we want the courts to put a GPS bracelet on them.
We're talking, I mean, there's so much you can talk about domestic violence. And before we leave, Dr. Dial saying, please share with the audience one piece of advice that you want them to hold on to dear. If it's one thing that you remember from this program.
The first slap, the first demeaning, or the first curse you get from this person, I would like somebody in authority to know about this, either report it to a social worker or a police officer or someone. So right away, that individual knows that what happens in the bedroom, other persons outside would have a knowledge of it or indicate it. It's not to say we are going to criminalize that behavior, but at least we now will now have a pattern on that individual.
And he's being watched, he knows he's being watched.
Yes, yes, that's it.
Thank you, Dr. Dial Singh.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity, from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
7 is out. All day is in. WESN News on the hour.
mental health can explain the behavior of bullies, but also the impact of those who are bullied.
And you have those individuals who may have, some children have what you call conduct disorders. And a conduct disorder, some of them will like to light fires, kill pets, and all these things. Now, those children could go on into adulthood and be somebody with a personality disorder, as what we call a psychopath or antisocial personality disorder.
Do they pick on or target a specific personality, their victim, or is it across the board?
Trinidad, come and get blessed at the Good News Fest. Free groceries while stocks last and lots of giveaways like appliances and toys and much more with live music at each venue. 3 days only in South, March 30th at number 4 Recreation Ground, Palo Seco from 4 p.m. In Central, March 31st at Ancient Alley Promenade, Couva, 6 p.m. And in the East, April 1st, Macoya, Savannah, Macoya, 6 p.m. It's the Good News Fest, 3-day family event, March 30th to April 1st. Lots of giveaways after an encouraging word shared.
Every day, we communicate through stories. Stories of ourselves, our challenges, our goals, our experiences, and our aspirations. Storytelling is an art that we have mastered. WESN Film Studios comprises a collaborative team of experts with extensive industry experience locally, regionally, and internationally. The ability of your business to successfully communicate with your preferred audience depends on the strength of the stories you tell. Your vision should be communicated in a high-quality, professional, and creative way.